Hi guys, I'm Sam from Vitalita Health and Fitness, and in this video I'm going to take you through the 4 guidelines for the TRX, and these guidelines will help you use the TRX safely and effectively. So guideline number 1 is your posture. So you've probably heard a dozen times, you might have heard certain cues, keep your chest up, remain in a plank position, but it's not easy to always know how to do that. So the best way to keep that correct posture is to try and stack your hips, shoulders and ears all in a straight line. So there's no sagging, your chest is not rounding forward. So try and think of those 3 cues to really keep your posture nice and taut, straight. Now another factor that comes with posture is core. You've got to keep your core nice and tight throughout each exercise, whether it's on the ground or standing up. Always brace your core. Now another cue that you don't hear too often that comes into your posture is your shoulder blades. A lot of people end up taking their shoulder blades up and trying to do some movements. So always try and be conscious of where your shoulder blades are at any given time throughout an exercise. And another thing that I really strongly associate with posture is your breath. So you've got to learn to use your breath with the exercise. And the easiest way that I can explain this is to exhale whenever you push, pull or lift. So for example, if you're in a push-up, you are exhaling with the push. If it's a TRX row, for example, you are just literally exhaling with the pull. And if you're doing a squat-like movement, you're inhaling on the way down and exhaling with the lift. So they're the most, the easiest cues that I can probably get you to try and remember to how to use your breath correctly. Okay, guideline number 2 is we don't want any rubbing. And what I mean by rubbing is no rubbing on the straps. The easiest way I can explain this is this is the number 1 exercise where you'll see rubbing, is when people are doing a TRX fly and dropping the arms a little too low. So what happens is you end up rubbing on the arm there. So you can see I'm not really holding myself up properly. It's all the straps holding me up, so the rubbing. So we want to avoid the rubbing by keeping the elbows up nice and high and no rubbing whatsoever on any body part throughout any exercise. Okay, that's number 2. Guideline number 3 is we don't want any slacking. And I guess that's an obvious one. What I mean by slacking is keeping the straps nice and taut throughout each exercise. The common problem I see in most you'll probably see in most gyms is when people are doing a row and then forcefully throwing themselves up and getting rid of the slack. So you want a nice controlled movement, breathing in on the way down, exhaling on the way up and keeping the straps nice and taut. Okay, that's number 3. And number 4 is we don't want any seesawing. And what I mean by seesawing is the TRX has a feature called the equalizing loop, which kind of allows a pulley movement. So we don't want any pulling, we don't want any seesawing. And the number 1 exercise where I see a lot of that happening is this particular exercise where we do a combo where you got one arm doing a T and one arm doing a row. So it's quite easy to slip and have that seesawing effect. So you really got to challenge the body a little bit more and trying to keep the straps nice and even without letting this seesawing happening. And that's guideline number 4. So they're your 4 guidelines.